Guys, in this video, we're going to be talking about mods for Farming Simulator 25. We're going to be talking about where you get mods depending on which platform you're on, how you install them, and also I've got a bonus one on how to build a server with mods in it. In fact, today's video is sponsored by G-Portal Game Servers, which we're going to talk to a little bit more because I've got kind of a special thing you need to know about when it comes to servers right now. So let's dive in. Let's start talking about mods for Farming Simulator 25 because I know with the launch, that is all the rage right now. Everyone wants to know about where are the mods. And you know what? Let's start by talking about where are the mods and maybe exactly what are mods. For those that are not aware, there's a whole section built right into Farming Simulator where there's user created content that you can add to any game for free for absolutely nothing. You just go down to your downloadable content and you click on the button, and all of a sudden you're brought to a plethora of new items you can add into your Farming Simulator game. In fact, this is the easiest way to add mods to your game in Farming Simulator. Now, console players, Xbox, PlayStation, this is the only way you can add mods into Farming Simulator. Now let's go through how to install mods and what you need to do basically, because you can select whatever you would like. Let's find a mod you want. Say you want the new John Deere 7810. Go down to the bottom, you'll have an option to install it down here. I've already got it installed, but you would install it there. Of course, you can rate here, take view screenshots. There's a bunch of things you can do on this page. Now, once it's downloaded, all you simply have to do is start a brand new save or even a pre-existing save that you might already be working on. And you'll be brought to the mods and DLC page where you can select this particular mod. Now, behind my head, there's the 7810 right there that we just downloaded. We just simply select it and then say, yep, I want to have that enabled. As soon as it turns green, that means that the mod is enabled in-game. And when you start the game, those mods will be in the shop so you can purchase or use or whatever the mod may be. Now, like I said, that is the only way that you console players can get mods to be added to your console into your game. I should also mention, guys, this list is updated relatively regularly. We're talking upwards of 5 times a week during midweek. Whenever Giants is in the office, they test all the mods that users are submitting to them to make sure that they work properly in the game and aren't there any game-breaking bugs or issues, basically. And then they will submit them and put them into what we call the mod hub and release them for play. Now, sometimes the schedule does change depending on how many mods have been submitted, how long it takes them to test. There's a variety of different reasons why you might not see mods day to day, and nobody really knows when mods will be released. So if anyone tells you that, guys, they're just lying to you. I think I know of a channel that checks mods pretty regularly. Who would that be? So now the rest of the methods of downloading mods are all for PC players. However, console players, stay tuned. I've got something else that you're going to want to know about. Now, for those who have been on the Farming Simulator website in the past, you can see we are on with the mods section right on the top right here. That's where you're going to find all the current mods to Farming Simulator 25. Everything that's been recently released, you're going to find it up here. So you can go ahead and just download these to your heart's content and then add them to your game. As you can see, we have the Raw Smash Nova 330 for Farming Simulator 25, of course. If there's any updates in here as well, you'll find out it'll say update, much like you will find in the mod hub in-game as well. But there's always mods being released in here. Like I said, come back here and you can check. You can search by category, which is rather extensive to say the least. But yeah, go through the website. It's a great way to search through the websites or the mod list to find out what's new. If you're maybe not at home in front of your game console, you can still use this and double check and see what's going on. Now, like I said, for PC players, you want to add one of these mods to your game. You can also do this instead of being in the mod hub in the game. You can do it right here, like I said, by simply going in, clicking download, and then that's going into your download settings in Windows. And once I move my head, you can see that there it is. The Nova 330 has downloaded. Now, where do you put that? Well, let me show you. Now, if you've left your game to be a standard install and haven't customized any of your settings for your game files, you're going to find your mod folder simply, underneath your Explorer view. Go over to My Documents, go to My Games, and then you're going to find Farming Simulator 2025 right there. And down the list, with your game saves, I think I only have the one on this save. There we go, game saves. You're also going to find mods. And right there is my whole list of mods right there that are in game. You can see what we currently have. We would just simply take this zip file, make sure it's a .zip file, bring that over, go back in and drag and drop. Boom. There it is. It's in game. Now, if I go back and launch one of my last saves, you can see there's the Raw Smash Nova 330 that we just installed and threw in. And we can activate that. Hit select, and now it'll be in my next game when I launch it. So that's how you do downloads from the mod hub. You have two different ways. If you're on PC or on console, you only have the one way. Now, I know a lot of you are saying, how do I get all these crazy mods that I see for Farming Simulator out there? Where do I find them? Where do I get them? How do I install those? Well, there's a couple different options. Now, this comes with a bit of a disclaimer. If you're getting mods that are outside the actual mod hub for Farming Simulator that you see right here, be very wary. Make sure you have virus protection on your computer. Do your best to try to scan stuff, even though it's not necessarily always possible. And make sure when you download a file, it is the right type. It's a .zip file, not a .rar or anything like that. Just be very careful, because none of the sites, for the most part, have any kind of checking automation program. No one's checking the mods, essentially, is what I'm coming down to here. If you download it, it's up to you. You could lose your computer in a sense. You could have everything be deleted off it. It could be a virus. You do not know until you've downloaded, installed it, and started your game up, to be perfectly honest. And even then, you might not even know potentially. Now, guys, there are plenty of sites out there, websites you can find just by Googling Farming Simulator 25 mods. You will find them. And they will show you a lot of them are actually the same mods, to be honest with you. They do auto-populate and bring in mods that are all been loaded up to one. They'll load them to all of them, essentially. But from there, you're gonna be able to find all of these other mods that maybe aren't quite up to the par of the mod hub in Farming Sim 25, or maybe mods that just are easier to be released just for PC anyways, so they don't really care. Who knows? There's a bunch of different reasons why people use these third-party websites. I prefer Mod Network, to be perfectly honest. I've used these guys for the last probably 4 or 5 years. Now, we could go into here and find what are the mods of the day. You could find specific mods from a different game if you wanted to as well. They do want you to get rid of your ad blocker if you have an ad blocker. Just be wary of that. Now, downloading from one of these sites is the same as downloading from the PC side of the mod hub as well. Simply go into it, download the mod, and you're going to see it's going to download directly up on top. Once again, like I said, make sure the file type is a .zip once you get it, to make sure that it's still the accurate file type for FarmSim to recognize it. And make sure it's not like a PDF or anything like that, because you never know what you're going to get, or an exe file, because you definitely don't want one of those. Just be wary. Also, take a look. A lot of the websites will give you like a number of downloads. Usually if it's a higher number, obviously, chances are there's less chance it's going to be a virus or anything like that. They do have a rating site on here as well, so this AFS Connect Magnum here is a 5-star rated. It's probably a decent mod. Now, once again, like I said, just take your file you just downloaded, and you can drag and drop that bad boy right into your mod folder. There she is, right there. We have it, and now it'll be in game next time we launch it. All right, now let's get to the part which console players will want to know more about. Like I said, not only PC players, but console players as well. And that is talking about mods onto a server, because quite honestly, mods and servers go hand in hand, and servers can also be used by console players just as they can be by PC players. And conveniently enough, considering it's Thanksgiving weekend down in the US, well, there is a 50% off sale, plus you get an extra discount with my code down in the link in the description. That's right, they have a crazy sale. This is the best time of the year to be able to get a server. If you want to get a server, do it right now. Get it for the year. It's 50% off, plus you're getting an extra 5 to 10%, I believe, with my code. Check the link down in the description. You're going to want to get it, even if it's after this weekend. Link in the description will give you a 10% discount on a G Portal game server. They are the best servers for Farming Simulator 25, bar none. Super simple to set up. In fact, we're going to set one up right now, and I'm going to show you how do you install mods in, because it's actually quite ingenious and simple as we go through this. So right now, you can see we have the 50% deal off right now. Let's see if we can order a brand new server. They got some options here, but we want to customize our own server. Now, you've got the slot number and the day number. Those are kind of the big two things you're going to be looking at. And of course, 25 gigs of mod space. It's an additional charge, but you're going to want it. Let's be honest. So let's create our own configurable server here. Let's see what options we have and what it all does. Now, when you create your cloud, this is the number of players. Think of it that way. So you've got 4 to 16. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean congruent players, because you can separate this up. When it says your gaming cloud, that means you could potentially have, well, if you had 16, you could have four-player servers running at the same time on that cloud. You can separate it up. You don't have to have them all in one particular segment. You can if you wanted to, but you don't have to. You can just make 4 independent with that if you wanted to, or you could have 2 with 8-player games going. You could decide how you want to do it depending on your math, depending on whatever math you want to do. So you would choose that based on what you want to do. I'm gonna go with just a 4 because we're just showing what this does and how this works. As you can see, our discount's being applied right now. Now, next up, of course, there is our 25 gigs of mod space. I'm gonna click that box, of course, because we want that. Down below, we have how long we want this bad boy for. Do we want it for 30 days? We want it for the whole year? Or do we just want it for the weekend? You can choose that right here. Of course, make sure if you're planning on getting a server for a longer period of time, get the 365 right now, because look at the discount. The discount's huge, and it only correlates over for the first time you buy one, of course, over the weekend here. So if you waited and just got a 3-day server, and then you came back, you're like, oh, you know what? I want to keep on going past Christmas. Well, you're not going to get the deal next time because the server times run out. And now we have our location. Choose whatever is best for you. Actually, in the previous page, if we back this up, I'm not sure if it shows it anywhere else, but you can see where your location's showing as the best. For me, it shows up as Dallas or Los Angeles. You can see it all depends on what you want to do there for where your location is. So I've got my server all ready to go. It's only $1.96 to have it set up for the weekend here for 4 people, and our 25 gigs of mod space is ready to go. I'm gonna go ahead and order that, and we're gonna get into this and build this server. I have an $83 balance just sitting there ready to go, and let's get into this and take a quick little look, see what we can do with this as it just quickly builds it up. It'll be running within like 3 or 4 minutes here, guys. It's already building the server on the back end. I'm not doing anything. This is just doing it all for me right now, and you're gonna see what we start with here. Now on the back end of my page, this is my GameCloud dashboard. It shows all my servers I'm currently running. I've still got some older farms, so 22 servers. I've got one that I'm not using right now. I've got an American Truck Simulator server as well. Like I said, there's a bunch of different servers that we currently run, so you can have a bunch if you want to as well. Like you can see here, this is the cloud I'm talking about. We do have, I believe it's 12 on this one, 12 slots. So I've got one with 8 and one with 4. That's how that kind of works. I could add another one. I could put this one down to 4, add another one with 4 players there if I wanted to. It has to be a minimum of 4 players, I believe. It has to be even, I think, something like that. Anyways, we're going to go in and take a look. You can edit this now. This is the new server we just built right here. Is the one. We got 2 days. You can see how much time's left. I could edit this server if I wanted to. We could add some slots right here to this page if I decide, oh, you know what? We got more players than I thought we did, or I wanted to build another one right here. I could do that. We could build it right inside, but let's go inside and take a look at this server and see, well, what it is. Now you can see it's currently stopped. The server's not running. There is all the information you're going to need to know. We'll talk more about that in a second. And you can see how much mod space is being used, which is 0 right now, which is nice. Let's fire this thing on up and get into the back end of the server and see what it looks like from the backside, so you guys know what you're getting into. And less than 30 seconds, the server is running. So it's up and going. Let's go down to our farming simulator interface right there and click that bad boy. And we'll take a look at the page itself, because this is all the guts right here that you're going to want to do. So first off, you're going to change the name to whatever you want it to be. Maybe I'll put it as Klutch's test server. All right, you've got your password for administration options in the web page itself. You've got your game password if you have a password. You want a password for all players joining in. You can take this off and not have a game password if you didn't want one. You have the slot which one it's going to be in the server side itself, where it's going to be. You can have different game saves. You can have up to 20 game saves right on the server here if you want. Which map you're going to be playing on. Once you download a mod map as well, you will show up in this page, just so you're aware. How much money you're going to start with, all the other information for starting with a game, right? Our language is English. I'm not sure why it started with Dutch. I thought it would have moved that over naturally. The game economic difficulty, all the base game settings are all right there. Now, crossplay allowed if you want to allow console players and PC players to play together. Make sure that's ticked off. And from there, guys, we can almost just hit start, and this would start our server. Well, you know what? We'll do that right now. Perfect. So servers fired up. And if we go over into our game, we're going to be able to see that right away. So I'm about 30 seconds from the time we managed to launch the game. Multiplayer, we go to our join game this time because it's a game that's already running. We're going to connect to the server list. Let's go find that name. My name's put it under Klutch, right? So get back up there. Oops. And boom. We got Klutch Farms. We have Klutch's test server up and running and good to go. Now I know what you're thinking. Okay, so the server's up and running already. That's how you do it, guys. That's a G-Portal server. You're up and running. But how do you install mods? Because if you look at the top here, there's a section that says mods, and guess what? We don't have anything up there right now. The MacDon pack is there, mind you. However, it's not active because, well, I didn't know if everybody had it or not. And that's kind of key. whatever mods you install in here, everybody has to have them, but there's kind of an easy way for everybody to get the mods. We'll get more to that in a second. Let's install some mods on our server. And you know what? We're already there, guys. Right here, choose files. That's going to allow us to install some mods. So let's take a quick look. If I click that, it's going to bring up my menu. So once I click the choose file button, it's going to open another window up, and I'm going to want to go to where my mod folder is, like we showed off before. Some documents, my games, Farming Sim 25 mods. That's where the base feature or base location is. That could be someplace else if you so decided to choose it and change that up later on, but that's where it starts off at. Now, all I have to do, guys, is I could select a couple of these. It only lets you do a couple at a time. Let's see if I can do maybe 4. We can do 5. Do those first 5 so we know what it is. Hit open and upload. We'll see if it does 5 or not. Sometimes it will let me do a couple more, other times it won't. Boom, there we go. They are all populated in, but just because they're here, you can see they're not activated yet. So they are technically not in game yet. We got to go back home and take a look at that part. Now that we're back on the home page, we can scroll down. You'll see them all down here, but to activate these mods, you need to first turn off the server. So we're currently online. We're going to stop the server. See, we've gone offline now. And we can go and just select all of these or just hit all and activate. That's going to activate all those mods we just installed, including actually the MacDon pack as well. Be careful with that because someone may not have the DLC. And now we're going to hit start. And once again, our server is up and running. Now it has all the mods that we just installed. It's as easy as that. Now, how do you download mods? Well, for example, if you wanted to give someone all the mods that were currently on your server, well, you could download them all one at a time right here. So I could just go into this page and download these one at a time. Oh, look, yeah, I want to keep that. Perfect. We can just go through each one of these independent, or you could download it as a package. If you click down below here, download all active mods. That's going to download a whole zip file that you can easily get all the mods that are on a server. So if you have 25 gigs of mods already installed, you can just download the whole thing and get on the server that much faster. Now, if you're going to be doing that, I would highly recommend maybe getting some web users. So you have different logins for all the people that are on your server. So you can see we just have an admin right now. You could add users. If I wanted to add someone, you could change the name on them. You could send them that information. They'd have their own password. And you could tell them exactly, well, what access they have. Can they just download mod access? Can you upload? Can you do everything? You can change all these parameters yourself, depending on which players you want to have what access to what parts of the mods and the downloads. So that there is the most common way. I think most people install a few mods onto their server, but there is one more trick if you want to install a whole batch of mods onto a game server for Farming Simulator 25. And that is with an external client. Now, there are a couple of free ones that are available that you can find all over the place. I use a program called FileZilla. You can find that for free on the interwebs. This program here is going to allow me to take a batch of files from my PC and install them onto a server, and vice versa. I can take the files off of the server and install them quickly onto my computer. It's kind of like it's just a transferring program that allows files to go back and forth from the server very easily and quickly. Now, how do I run this? Well, once you've installed the program onto your computer, you're going to need some information that all populates up in the top portion up here. You need your host, your username, password, and port. So that information is all available on the gPortal backend page of the server. Let's go take a look at that. So back on our Klutch's test server page from gPortal, you can see we've got a bunch of information here for an FTP connection point, and an IP, port, username, and a password that we can use to plunk into FileZilla. So let's do that. And there we go. Quickly got everything populated. We will hit Quick Connect. Save password. Sure, why not? It's going to establish a link. Tell it, say it's okay. And once again, now here is my server. Let's see if we can go in and take a look at the mods. There are the 5 mods that we installed previously. You can already see. Now, all I have to do, guys, if I want to install more mods on this now, is to go back to that file on my computer. So my computer is all on the left-hand side. The server is all on the right. If I go to, here I am at Farming Sim 25, my documents, my games, Farming Sim 25, and then I'm going to go to mods. These are all the mods I currently have on my computer. I could just quickly select a whole batch of these if I wanted to, like that. That's all the mods I wanted to install. Say, if I wanted all of them, I could do that as well. Just drag these on over. And here we go. It's going to install every single one of these mods onto the server right now. It's going to take a little bit of time, as you can see down at the bottom here. It's downloading them all somewhat quickly, but it's not rocket science. It's not like it's done now and it's done. Well, okay, I guess it's done now. That's way faster than I thought it was going to be. And then when we come back to our main server page, we could go down to the bottom, and now look at all the mods I just grabbed have all been populated in the menu. They're not active yet, of course, right? We have only the active mods here. These are all mods in the bottom that have not been activated. All I have to do is stop the server. Once again, I can select all of these mods, activate, and boom, now we have all these mods on our server. That's all there is to it, guys. That's the big stuff to know about mods in Farming Sim 25, how you download, how you install, and how you use the servers with mods in Farm Sim. It's great. There's a ton of stuff out there now coming out every day with mods for the series. I can't wait to see where we go in the next few years. Of course, do not forget to get your G Portal server. Like I said, huge discount over Thanksgiving weekend. Get it now and use the link down in the description. Get the extra percentage off as well. And we'll see you guys out in Farm Sim. Have a great one, guys. We'll see you next time. It's Klutch. Over and out.